Hey everyone, it is Mica, and that time has come again where we sit here together and take a closer look at the various classes of Pantheon, Rise of the Fallen. And today we're going to be looking at the last of the healers, the Shaman. Now this also puts us about halfway through all of the classes, unless Visionary Realms goes and springs Bard or something on us, which would be interesting as we do need more crowd control classes, but that of course is a story for another day. So let us of course start with Shaman the way we usually do, with the description straight from Visionary Realms. It is rumored that shamans live in every age at once. It is a second sight, allowing them to sense the threads of energy woven through Terminus's past. It is this unique gift that allows shamans to discern the ancestry of friend or foe, wielding this knowledge in the form of powerful boons or frightful banes. Well, that was certainly short and sweet. It feels like there should be more there, but that's all they gave us, so that's all I can give you. So anyway, there are 5 races that can play the Shaman: the Archai, the Elf, the Ogre, the Scar, and as per the usual, the Human. It has 2 resources to manage: the standard mana that we all know and love, and one named Vision, which is obtained via healing and will increase your spell casting speed. Now it doesn't say if it goes down over time, resets when you zone, or anything of that sort, but you will have a little eye in your UI, and the more open that eye is, the faster your spells will be. And that's all there really is to Vision. Shamans can wear cloth, leather, or light mail armors and wield 1- and 2-handed blunt weapons, 1-handed piercing, and shields. So it's really not too different from Cleric or Druid, at least when it comes to weapons. But that brings us to, yes, you guessed it, passive abilities. And the first one we're going to take a look at is Agewalker's Companion, which allows you to choose between a bear cub or a wolf pup as a companion. And this companion will do absolutely nothing for the first 10 levels. It's just kind of there, hanging out with you, being your buddy. But then you can elect to do a rite of passage, which will transform them into the adult version of a bear or a wolf, and this is where they begin to fight alongside you. Now, it does say they come with a host of unique abilities, but there are absolutely no pet abilities listed alongside the Shaman, so I guess that part is just gonna have to be a surprise. Primordial Bonds is our next passive ability, which heals you every time you heal someone else. Although you will not get a full heal, you'll just get a percentage of whatever amount you healed that person for. Keeper of Elemental Mysteries will increase your healing for every elemental school you have active on a target, and my assumption is that those are going to be the boon spells that we're going to be covering here very soon, although it doesn't specify. Then there is Ancient Focus, which eliminates the reduction in health and mana regen you normally get during battle, and Agewalker's Gift, which allows you to freely move your body in spirit form, when you're in spirit form, not your body, after death without fear of being attacked. And this will also boost the effect of Part the Veil, which is your resurrection spell. Now, normally Part the Veil was just going to be a flat resurrect of a party member with the standard resurrection sickness and all that stuff, but used in conjunction with Agewalker's Gift, it will res a party member with absolutely no res sickness and will fully restore both their health and their mana. And that is a great transition to buffs, but before we begin, there is something I want to talk about, because there are spells like Adept's Theory, which will raise your wisdom, and Cleansing Flame, which will cure you from poison and disease, that are just that. They are just plain old flat spells. But many of the buffs, and actually the heals in DPS 2, have elements listed alongside of them. Now, this may be an EverQuest carryover, I don't know, I didn't play EverQuest. I did some Googling, but couldn't find anything. And I just don't know what these elements associated with them have when it comes to meaning. It doesn't say anything anywhere. I mean, they are listed at the front of each ability, so I can only imagine they have some sort of significance. But yeah, they just don't tell us anywhere. I mean, it'd be great for those of us who aren't familiar with the system to know. I mean, is this like the elemental wheel from Final Fantasy? Do you need to be aligned elementally to cast that spell? Sort of like a stance sort of thing. Is this a school of magic or a skill tree that you need to specialize in? There could be so many possibilities, but there's just no clarification. I mean, what does this mean to the Shaman? No other job has this at all. Just a short text explanation is all we need. That would be great. But if you do know, please leave it in the comments so we can all learn something today. But we were at buffs, so let's continue on with them. Chase the Wind is your first one, and it's very short and it's very simple. And actually, All these are very short and very simple, so this is going to go by super fast. If you're interested in buffs, pay attention because it will be quick. Chase the Wind will increase your movement speed. Grip of the Crags will increase both stamina and strength. Interlocking Stones is an AoE boost to armor class. Skymane's Memento will increase the attack speed of an ally, a nice little haste boost. Reptilian Veil will increase your resistance to poison and disease while increasing your natural health regen. Mark of the Fireclaw will increase your resistance to fire, and it says nature, which is kind of ambiguous, while increasing agility and dexterity, and Primal Fury will increase the rate of critical hits and continue to increase that rate with each consecutive critical hit that you land. Gate of the Forgotten Eras will open a gate around an ally that will absorb all incoming damage that they would normally take while locking them into place. Now, it does not say if they can still attack and cast spells or if they just cannot take a jump to the left and a step to the right, but after the spell wears off, all damage that gate absorbed will be evenly dispersed throughout your party. So this may be a great way to kill your hate mages. We'll see. Anyway, lastly, we have one that is just going to be handy, and it's not really a buff per se, it's just a handy dandy little spell, and it's called Walk of the Ages. And what this is it allows you to create a save point on the map that you can return to at any time as long as you don't zone. And I guess a save point is a bad descriptor. It's just the normal gaming descriptor. It's just a point on the map that you can return to at any time. This is going to be handy in so many cases. I mean, do you need to run across the map to resurrect a friend? Hey, you can set a mark on the map and return in a snap. Do you need to run across town to a vendor to do some crafting? Hey, set a mark and you can get back to where you were really fast. I mean, this could be an incredible time saver for even the most mundane of tasks. But enough about buffs, let's look at your heals, because Mantle of Mist is your hot, it is your heal over time, it is your regen, depending on which game you're coming from. The description makes it sound like it starts small and gets really powerful by the end, but you know what, even if it doesn't, hots are great, so that would just be a cherry on top. Then we have Hand of A Value, I Value, I mean, you know me and Pantheon naming conventions. It's just a flat, moderate heal that will also heal the party members around that target by a smaller amount. Then we have Gift of the Rainlands, which is your party-wide heal with the added effect of causing Mantle of Mist to crit if it's active. Then there is Hurry to the Pass, and this one, depending on how hots are handled, could be a huge deal, so pay attention if you're going to play a Shaman. Because as I said, in many games, healing over time can generate massive heal numbers after all is added up. And what Hurry to the Pass does is it adds up all those remaining ticks of any hot spell that's active on a target and converts it into one single large heal. And then, as a little added bonus, it will reset that hot spell at its very beginning, starting it all over again. This has the potential to be an unbelievably strong heal, so do not overlook this one. And finally, we come to the Shaman's offensive skill kit, consisting of both debuffs and damage. And we're going to take a look at debuffs first, because as a career red mage in Final Fantasy XI, debuffs, they're kind of my thing. Shackle of the Dust Eater is where we will begin, lowering an enemy's strength, stamina, and resource generation. Pretty nifty little spell. Then we have Weathering, which will lower an overall armor class, and Deluge, which will slow an enemy's movement speed, stop their health regen, and make them dripping wet. Now that last part may be weird having a description, but remember what I said last week. This is the perfect time for your druid to hit them with a lightning bolt for critical damage. Scorched Fog will blind an enemy, slowing their attack speed and making them more likely to land a glancing blow, which is the opposite of a crit hit. If you're trying to sneak past something, you could always try Headwinds, which will distract them, reducing both their aggro and assist ranges. But if you fail and they get you, you can always try Stain of the Scorpions, Choking Thirst, or Wreath of Coals, which will each cause damage over time while reducing their resistance to nature, again ambiguous, poison and disease, or fire-based attacks respectively. Finally, you can use Feign of Horon, which if you have an Animus-based spell like Stain of the Scorpion active, will just hit them for one big chunk of damage. And with that, we have covered all of Shaman's confirmed abilities. So what have we learned today about the Shaman? Well, in my opinion, Shaman seems like it's going to be the most well-rounded of healers. It does have direct heals, although it does seem to specialize in more party-wide heals. But spells like Hurry to the Past have the potential to produce some crazy big numbers. Shaman is also where you're going to get a lot of buffs and debuffs that can be amazingly helpful in any battle. It doesn't matter if it's a boss or trash mobs you're leveling up on. Buffs and debuffs can definitely make a huge difference. Most of your damage spells do come in the form of damage over time, but like heals over time, they should not be taken for granted, because dots can be pretty dang powerful. It's just not as apparent as, say, a fireball. You do have a pet, but it's unclear in how involved you're going to have to be with them, so they may need a lot of attention, but they may be running on autopilot and need absolutely none at all. And then we have that elemental thing that's still a mystery. But if you enjoy a well-rounded healer and juggling buffs and debuffs while landing some possibly huge heals, then I would definitely shaman it up. And with that, we wrap up healers, and I can next now dive into the DPS classes, and I think I'm going to do mages first, and then move on to ranged, and then move on to melee. And since I'm starting with mages, we're going to begin with the most classic of mage, the wizard. As I say every week, my social media is listed below if you want to follow me, see what's going on, and keep updated with what's happening on my channel, because some new stuff is in the works. I know I keep saying that, but it's literally coming. I just really need to figure a few things out. I also have Pantheon site linked below in case you want more information or if you want to pledge. But as per the usual, it has been a hoot, and until next time, have fun.